Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the Kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.
What's up, fight fans? Today we're joined by Zack Alm. He has a fight coming up against Cody Rondout, XKO 55 on February 18th. Cody, man, thank you for coming in and taking the time to talk to us. How are you feeling right now leading up to the fight?
I'm good, man. Just putting in the deposits every day. This ain't my first fight. I know he's a tough opponent and everything, but yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm excited to go out there.
Excited. That's a special word to, explain your feelings going into the cage and getting it locked with another man.
Yeah, man.
I like it. One of a kind of people. So how long have you been training and what brought you into MMA?
I've been training pretty consistently. I had a little bit of grappling experience as a child, but kind of growing up, didn't really have the means, the money, or really, I mean, we lived so far away from any sort of gym that I knew that it was going to be something that, like, okay, got to get through high school, get a job, and then after high school, I was going to make this my life. So I worked through high school and everything. I always had it in the back of my mind that, this is all temporary. This worked a full-time job in high school, graduated. And then, I remember it was, I think in the summer of 2014, I graduated high school. I was working at Windstar Casino. I was a cook there, and I was working probably 50 hours a week, man. And there's Bellator used to come through Windstar, every couple of months. And I was a cook in one of the lines there. And one night was a packed night. It was so stressful, and I hated that job. I hated it, dude. Ooh. And one night Bellator came through, and I saw some fighters come through line that I recognized. I remember it was Joe Warren. If you know Joe Warren, a lot of guys from Colorado, and Eduardo Dantes, stuff like that. And I was just like, man, I need to get on the other side of this fucking line. I need to be over there. I gotta get out of here. This isn't for me. So I believe that was on a Friday. The next Monday, I quit my job, and I was like, I'm just gonna figure it out, man. I'm just gonna figure it out. Started training then. And then really, man, I just made my life revolve around it. I would turn down, jobs that would interfere with my scheduling just to make my life revolve around this. So, and it's all worked out full circle now. So I'm thankful for it and thankful for the lessons. But yeah, I know I kind of ventured off. I'd say I've been training pretty regularly for a good 6.5, 7 years.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people ask the question, like, how, like, I feel, or they'll say, like, I feel bad for the people who have to go in there and, put all those risks in there and go in the cage and find. It's like, do they feel bad for you? Because you're having to do that 50 hours a week and put up with all the BS. Like, they felt trapped there. Like with this, like, they fight every so often, and then the rest is training, hanging out with, their team and, progressing themselves as a person. They can put the focus on themselves and their team, rather than having to put all this time into work. It's really about time. Like the effort's still there, it's grueling. That's why I'm not a fighter. Those wrestlers are what broke me. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I didn't. So for some reason in Texas, wrestling is not that big. Like, yeah. You would think a state that loves football, really into like the aggression and it's just being so southern, that wrestling would be big, especially just right up north from us, Oklahoma. That's probably some of the best wrestling in the country when it comes to schools and stuff like that. So, like, growing up, man, there was one thing that I wish I could have changed, is that I wish I would have been able to have the opportunity to wrestle in high school.
Same.
But I have a child on the way. So
nice, man. Congratulations.
So yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. So one of the things that I've already told my woman was, babe, I don't care if he fights. I don't care if he fights or what. There's one thing he's gonna do, and he's gonna wrestle. Just from the lessons that it teaches you. It teaches you, teaches you how to deal with adversity at a young age, teaches you how to just embrace the suck, and everything. And it's, it's character building.
It's just challenging
Oh,
your
dude,
spirit there. So do you have any specific martial arts that you prefer or just feel natural to you?
Yeah, man, striking comes super natural to me, man. Yeah, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, they definitely do as well, but I mean, I'm a 6'1", 145er slash 135er. So yeah, man, striking is really like my forte, I would say. Don't get me wrong, I love
Longer than
grappling.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, man, longer than everybody. And I had ups and downs in my career as an amateur and as a pro. I've fought in probably like 4 different weight classes, just growing into my body, starting so young. And yeah, man, striking for sure is my forte. Do not get me wrong though. I had more wins throughout my amateur career and everything. And more wins by submission from that led from my striking too. So it's weird how I use the striking to set up the jiu-jitsu, or I use the jiu-jitsu to get back up to my feet.
And you just got your blue belt as well, right?
Yeah, man, I did last night. Yeah, it was a proud moment, man. I've been doing jiu-jitsu, I wouldn't say consistently, man. I kind of bounced around at a couple of gyms. So I live in Sherman, and I make the drive to Plano to train. And so it's a good hour drive for me and everything. And I actually just moved to my gym, McSweeney Martial Arts, head coach James McSweeney. Yeah, I made the move there back in about like beginning of April last year, man. It's just, no shade, no nothing. It's just, being in an area like Sherman, there's just not that opportunity of growth, and there's just not enough guys in the area to really push you forward and just get to where you really need to be, So yeah, I ventured out there, and I got there, thinking that, okay, my jiu-jitsu's decent, gyms I came from before. I would just do the least amount of jiu-jitsu, really, just to feel, stay at the same level and everything. And that's kind of moronic of me to think that, while you're growing all of these other skills, but you're keeping your grappling here, that you're gonna continue to see growth. And so yeah, I made the move out there. And then to be honest, I've dropped my last 2 fights. I got caught chokes, almost the same choke. They're just modified guillotines and everything. And those 2 fights, those 2 lessons made me realize, like, man, you may have thought that your jiu-jitsu was good enough, but now we have to make it better. So I got really focused, really dedicated into grappling. And it feels good finally after, I've been training and fighting and just being a part of the lifestyle for 6.5 years now. It feels good to finally get that belt and say, like, yeah, man, I'm not a white belt anymore. I've rolled up purples, blues, browns, whites all the time, but like, it just, feels good to finally get that
BJJ is very rewarding because it's not like karate.
Man.
You're not gonna, have a black belt in 2 years. Like,
no,
it's a life.
Hell no.
It's a dedication to the art.
Yeah, man.
To really move up in ranks. And yeah, I'm a white belt, so
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with white
okay?
Belt, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it takes a long time and a lot of dedication.
I'll start one by one. I'll start with my head coach, James McSweeney. He's been all over the world, man. There ain't a style he hasn't seen. There's nothing he hasn't seen. And he's an awesome head coach, man. I've been to, a bunch of different gyms, and the man really practices what he preaches. There's not a strength and conditioning workout he doesn't put us through that he wouldn't go through himself. And he just puts so much time into his gym. I find it unbelievable. He's got a wife and a kid at home, and yet he spends so much time into building his gym. And then just the variety of teammates that I got there, man. I got guys that are just all different skill levels, man. There's guys that are coming up that are next month, they're better than they are this month. And that rising tides raise ships. So it's a well-rounded team, man. And it's a good vibe there. And they really welcomed me there whenever I decided to venture out and come aboard about last year. So just a variety, yeah.
Heck yeah,
variety, and the skill.
That's good to know. I'm glad to see all these, Texas gyms coming up. Like, there's a certain gridiron spirit to you, So in 2018, you got the XFN belt, right? At 135.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 135. Yes,
Yeah. How did it
sir.
feel getting that belt? That's your first belt, right?
Yeah, man, it was my first. Yeah, it felt really good because one problem that I've had as a fighter is sometimes, man, and I'm being just honest and transparent here, I mean, it's just how I feel. Sometimes the best me came out into the gym, and there's a lot of fights that I dropped where, that like, man, that's a guy you should have beat. That's a guy. If me and that guy are fighting in the gym, I beat that guy 10 out of 10 times. But it just happened to be that night, and it's no excuses. I take every loss that I've ever had as sincerely as a lesson. And that does sound corny, but it is, man. And it's just experience every time. But my XFN belt, so that was the third title shot that I had as an amateur. And I knew that one, man, I was like, man, this is going to be the last one that you probably get as an amateur. So you have to get this one. And I just come off of a really good win against a pretty high level jiu-jitsu guy for XKO. It was like a month or two before then, about a month and a half. So I was already, in good shape going to that next camp and getting that one. And then that one, man, yeah, it just felt good to be able to, coming from where I came from, all the hours I put into driving long distances to get training, and just felt good to call myself a champion.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal. Like, no matter where you get the belt, like, that's a good feeling, and really bestows that. It gives you that reward for all the, like you were saying, all that hard work you put in. And like you were saying, like, sometimes you come into the gym, like when you come into the gym and, there's not as nearly as much on your mind or pressure on your shoulders, like, you kill it, and then all the other things is just a distraction. It's all about your mindset, so like the mindset's like 90% of it. So, yeah, it's good that you have these experienced losses to see what that mindset is, and see, like, to not have the rose tinted glasses about it, and to understand that, if I can, keep a strong, sturdy mindset that, I'm going to use my skills to win this fight. No one's going to break me,
Honestly, that's one thing I want to give a lot of credit to my coach, James, is, man, like, and I would still win fights, not even being like my best self in there. I'd be like, okay, man, you know what? It's just going to come out one day. I just need to keep getting experience in the cage. I'll take the wins with the wins, the losses with the losses. But I know that when the day comes that my full self's in there and I'm at 110% of my capabilities, that, there's not anybody that I can't beat. And that's one thing that I have to say that my coach has really helped me dial in and focus on is that part. He's told me stuff. Yeah, man, 100%. Yes.
If you're going to be a fighter.
He's told me stuff in my head that I didn't even realize what was going on, that he called it out. He said it, and I was like, how the hell did he know that? That's what I was thinking, and that's how I was feeling, but I wasn't even aware of it. So, in my opinion, when you have a problem, if you keep pushing it to the side, it's going to be a problem. And it's going to come up when you get under the lights, because those lights don't lie. Anything that you have pushed back in your head, or any sessions that you've skipped, they're going to show themselves there in front of everybody. So any thoughts or any doubts you have to deal with them months on end, weeks on end, days on end before you get in there, or else it's going to come to light in there, and you're going to be trying to solve those problems in your head against a trained killer who's coming to take your head off. So he's really helped me get dialed in on that part, be aggressive, not accepting bad positions, and just really just putting my whole game out there, man. And it feels so good to be dialed in like that. It's like I've never felt it before, and I'm super grateful to experience it. I'm grateful for not only being able to experience it, but the losses that I've taken to get to this point, to realize what I need to do, and the fact that I've received almost minimum to no damage. Like, I see people who go out there, and when they're losing, man, they're getting fucked up. They're getting they're getting hit with elbows. They're getting TKO'd. They're getting smashed, man. I'm like, man, those are lessons, but those are like the hardest lessons to learn. And all my opponents I've fought have been great, man. So I knew I'm just like, man, you'll get past this and you'll get over it. So just grateful for it all, man.
Yeah, dude. That's I mean, it's good to learn those lessons now, because
And yeah,
you know, you got to have that I'm the best in the world mentality. So, it's really good to form that now. And then, you don't have to learn that like if you were in the UFC or if you were in Bellator or when there's so much more on the line. If you come in the UFC and you lose 2 in a row,
you're done.
Some people are going to kind of write you off.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, hold up,
100%.
hold up. They came in a little too early. They should maybe got some more experience. They should have suffered a loss to know they're not invincible, before they got in there. And the people who have learned they're not invincible, now they know what that feels like, and they know to try to prevent that from happening, with their mindset and with, what techniques they're practicing, and so much goes into it.
Outside, they besides obviously the near and dear circle, the people you keep close to you every day as a fighter going into a fight, but everybody else watching, you could tell them, oh man, that just wasn't the best me in there. They don't care, man. Did you win? Did you lose? If you win, we all love you. You're moving on. We support you. You're getting there, bud. You lose, you'll get them next time, my friend.
Yep.
It's about 500 texts less. So and like I said, it may sound like I'm a little like negative about it, but I'm not. I'm truly grateful to have experienced the adversity that I've had, being so young and everything, that I know it's just shaping my future for the better.
So when you're in there, do you view this as more of a sport and this is a friendly competition, or do you have that mentality of this is a war and my opponent is my enemy? Like what mindset kind of do you have to step into to do what it takes, in a fight?
Yeah, that's a great question. And man, I can tell you, I've had so many different mindsets going in there. I've had the mindset of like, okay, this is a performance. I'm going to go out there and showcase my skill, dance around them, dot them up, use my length, good footwork, good feints. And, I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to make myself look good. And you can, I feel like I can do that, but it also has to be in the same token, like, okay, this isn't a performance. This is a moment of you make one wrong move, you're slept. This person's coming to hurt you. So you have to be ready to come back with the same aggression and the same kind of like no motherfucker, I'm going to get you mentality. And to me, man, it a lot. This is another thing that I won't lie that I've struggled with, like going in there. What is the mindset? Do I look at this as like, okay, I'm going to go perform? This is a sport. I've had good outcomes with that, and I've had bad outcomes with that. Or is this no? This is a war. This is you or him, and whether this determines you get double the money if you win. That's double more opportunities for going further in life, more money. So I think it's just finding a mix between is understanding like yes, this is one-on-one, mano y mano. So it's just, I think for me it's finding the blend of it, of understanding like you can't have any thoughts. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to kill. So yeah, I think it's just a blend of the two.
So we have a saying here at Enter the Kumite: this is not a sport. You don't play fight. What are your thoughts on that? Do you view MMA as a sport, or do you see it as something more than that?
I think if I was like on the outside looking in, I think I would view it as a sport. But considering I'm like, it's one of those things that you can actually be involved with in yourself. And sport's a good word because there are high level athletes, and especially nowadays, it's evolved. I mean, it's fighting, man. it's fighting.
It's human.
So yeah, it's human. It's as raw as it gets. So, if you put on a TV and depending on who you are, 90% of the people are you going to watch a baseball game or are you going to watch a fight? Probably
Yeah.
going to watch the fight. I mean, viewership could be wrong. I know a lot of people like baseball or anything, but to me, yeah, man, there should be sportsmanship involved, but it's a fight, man.
Yeah. You don't play
You
fight
go to
either.
Yeah, you go to play and you'll get slept.
I agree wholeheartedly. So was there anyone specifically that inspired you when you were young? Was there a specific fighter that you saw and you were like, I can do that, or I want to do that?
I watch a lot of film on guys, but growing up there was one guy who I watched and I was like, Uriah Faber, coming
Oh,
up, making waves for the smaller divisions. He was a guy that I watched a ton of. He was my favorite fighter for a long time. He still is one of my favorites now. But yeah, man, to be honest, I look at I don't really necessarily look at guys for inspiration. I look at guys to see like what are they doing and what can I take from them that they're using at the highest level that I can use for myself.
mhm.
But yeah, man, like I said, growing up watching fights, I never missed a Uriah Faber fight. Uh, George St. Pierre, obviously, man. I mean, coming up,
GSP, one of the goats.
GSP, yep. Nowadays, man, I tend to watch a lot of guys similar to me, similar to my style. I watch a lot of guys like Corey
Corey
Sandhagen,
Sandhagen. That's what I
Sean
was gonna say. You
O'Malley,
kind of remind me of a little bit.
Oh,
Is a
yeah, dude,
Sandhagen.
I love Corey. Yeah, Corey's probably my favorite right now, man. It'll switch sometimes, but top three right now is probably Corey, Sugar Sean, Israel as well. I mean, there's so many more, man. But I just
Israel. Yeah. Sugar
yeah,
Sean. I like
yep.
these choices. I like these choices. Yeah. These guys
Just
are very
watch guys
exciting.
like similar to my body type, and like seeing like, okay, I can see this tall, skinny dude out here dotting people up. I can do that too.
I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I'm
100%.
6'1". How long is your reach?
It's 74-inch reach. Yeah,
74-inch reach. Do
yeah.
you feel more comfortable in 135 or 145? What do you think you'll be
Uh,
going to? Because this one's 145, I believe.
yeah, this is 45. Yeah, probably. I think as I progress and grow into my body, I think it's just inevitable that I'll be at 145. I
Mhm.
mean, because 135 is definitely doable, but I still work a full-time job. And my problem with whenever I cut to 135, and if I have like 8 to 10 weeks to do it properly and do it right, I can definitely do it right. But my problem is like getting to 135. I feel like sometimes takes a little bit out of me. And like I said, man, I work a full time job. I don't have a
Yeah.
nutritionist. I have people that know what they're doing, and I've done a lot of research myself. But
Mhm.
the biggest part is just like, okay, are you gonna cut 30 pounds to get down to 135? And like, how's that gonna do for you the next day? How are you gonna feel? My biggest problem has been getting back up to where I feel 100% after the cut. And I say that, man, but the last time I fought at 135, it's on like a 2.5 week notice. Whenever I made my pro debut, it was back in like the middle of COVID, back when we didn't even know when we were going to be fighting again, man. And it was actually for XFN. And so yeah, they offered me a fight at 135, and like I said, I trained year round and everything. But
Mhm.
my body, my body just it's gotten bigger, and I'm growing more into it. So
Growing into your
I'm not
prime. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, ask me
Yeah.
again in 2 more years, and
Then
I'll
I'll have
let
the
you know
final
which one
answer.
I'm at. Yeah, but for
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
I feel good at 145. I still feel big and strong. And I think as I progress, the higher level I get, will probably go back to 135, or I might stay at 145, man. I don't know. It feels good to have options at both. I'll say
I
that.
mean, Alexander Volkanovski, Aljamain
Yep.
Sterling,
Yep. You look at Aljo too, man. He's a dense ass 135er.
yeah.
He's dense and strong, dude.
Yeah,
So
he's he's still long, but like, yeah, his muscles are very compact as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Who do you think
yeah.
wins that rematch? Him and Jan.
I don't think anybody in 135 beats Jan, but that's,
Me neither, man.
I mean,
Me neither.
Corey Sandhagen, I said it was going to be the one to do it. If anyone
Yep.
does it with maybe a flying knee
Yep.
or something crazy, just like if Jan couldn't download the data in time. But
how good is he, man? Sheesh.
Jan is so technical.
He's a terror, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite fight of all time right there. Is just like a technical, two technicians like that. Completely different style. Jan, high guard, walking forward, downloading data. Corey, hot shot and picking shots on the outside, using good length footwork. Yes. Movement. I really thought that was going to give Jan some problems, man, but
no, yeah, we actually released on our channel like best fight of the year. It had to be that one. We definitely covered that and did a little analysis of it. I thought that was the best, one of the best fights I've ever seen in terms of technique. MMA's moved on from checkers. We're playing chess now.
Oh, dude, that was it too. That's the highest level right there.
You got me nerding out over here, bro.
Same, man. I'm just as much a nerd and a fan as I am involved myself. So I could talk fights, matchups, all that stuff all day, man.
So a lot of people believe that someone's ancestry can influence their determination and particular skill sets. Do you think there's any truth to that? Do you think your ancestry has equipped you with any specific attributes to help make you the warrior of today?
Yes and no. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about my ancestry to know that much. I know one thing for sure. So I've never met my grandfather on either side of my family, my mom's side and my dad's side. I haven't met him, either one of them biological ones, but I do know my grandfather on my dad's side, he actually boxed. So he was from the country Hungary, and he had to migrate over here during the Holocaust to get over here and live a life, and then obviously made my dad, his brothers and everything. But yeah, he actually boxed over here. So I'm not sure how far as he went to it. Like I said, I don't know too much about it, but I would like to say that, yeah, that probably did have something to do with this crazy shit I got going on in my head about wanting to just get nitty and gritty.
Yeah, get in there and fight in a cage.
Yeah.
Look at me now, Mom.
yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I gotta ask, man, where are you going? Where do you see yourself being in the next 5 to 10 years? And if you could choose one MMA organization to be a part of, what would it be?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. In terms of what promotion, I mean, you look at the exponential growth of, let's just say the top. We all know the 4 big dogs: UFC, Bellator, PFL, and ONE. I think they all have a bunch of different things to offer. Obviously, with the UFC, you have the most amount of exposure. They're the biggest marketing machine. You go out there and you get good wins, and you know how to promote yourself. I really feel they could take you there. But like, I'm sure you're aware of the whole, the situation going on with all the fighters nowadays, with the money and stuff like that, and no outside sponsorship and
that was
all
the
that.
worst idea. The outside sponsor. That was a terrible idea.
I know, man. I know. And I like Bellator too, man. I mean, like I'm really hoping they're able to like catch on and just get more eyeballs on them, even just a fraction of what the UFC has. I mean, because they have some really, really, really good guys over there. They
do have good guys. And I feel like the only thing that they kind of do wrong, I mean, I don't watch Bellator as much as I do PFL, and I've been kind of tuning into ONE FC because of all their, YouTube marketing. Now they're putting up the most exciting clips you've ever seen and clickbaity titles, and they're getting lots of eyes on them now. But Bellator, I feel like kind of tried to make their name off the back of UFC fighters. That's who they decided to promote rather than promoting their prospects. Like, oh no, this guy might be the best in the world. You don't know that that
Mm.
one's the best in the world. We might have the best guy in the world rather than, someone who just left the UFC. And now we're like,
Yep.
okay, we're going to put all our money and promotion into, we have Gegard Mousasi,
Yep.
we have Ryan Bader,
Those guys they got there, and don't get me wrong, they're top of the line guys.
They're really
but
good.
when
Both
it
still
comes to
top
like
five of their division.
Oh, 100%
of
man.
UFC.
And like I said, I'm just being a fan here, but like watching, them at Bellator, and it's great. I hear guys like Corey Anderson going over there making more in 2 fights over there than he did in all of his fights in the UFC combined, and I love to see it, man. But yeah, you're right, where they've been building their blocks off of the backs of guys who, were top level, top 5 guys, but when it came to like the tip of the spear guys, they fell a little bit short. And I agree with you there. One thing I do like that they're doing though is they are investing back into their homegrown talent, like the AJ McKees,
Michael Venom Page.
Yeah, he's fighting Yaroslav. That's a good fight. Like the Aaron Picos, so I like that. And if I have my pick on where I'm going, let's say in the next 4 to 5 years, it's hard not to say the UFC, man. I mean, that was
hard not to.
that was the I wasn't a kid growing up saying I want to fight for Bellator or PFL, but like I said, man, if I got an opportunity, for either one, I would definitely take it because they're the big 4, and yeah, man, I just want to fight the best, and I just want to bring my best self every time. And I think when I do that, then the doors will open to come to those other promotions.
Yeah, because you might make more money in another promotion, but the thing about UFC is that you get that name status, because we're still at that point where, except for a couple arguable divisions, whoever's UFC champ, best in the world, they have that regard from, the public, the public eye. So, I mean, they're all good. They all got good things going for it. I really like what the PFL's doing with the bracket tournaments. I feel like it's really unbiased, and it gives you that chance to come in as a quote unquote nobody, and, put your name right on the map, make $1 million.
Yeah.
So I like all of them, honestly, for all kinds of different reasons. I just don't like PFL took out elbows. Yeah.
Really?
PFL, you can't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no way.
That's a huge flaw.
Terrible.
That's a huge flaw.
Not even in the clinch?
No elbows.
Not at all. Wow.
And I would like for UFC and Bellator to add knees to a grounded opponent. Honestly,
100%, man. Yeah.
I don't think they're
especially
too dangerous.
Especially with like the wave of these Dagestani wrestlers coming through. A lot of these guys are going to be able to get guys down, and then they're going to hold them there in position. And a lot of those positions are from, side control, north, south, they're going after stuff. And you mean to tell me people would not tune in more to watch these Nurmagomedovs or these crazy names if they aren't blasting dudes on top,
holding them in place and knee
man.
into the head. Doesn't matter. You put your hands down. That's not helping you. It would keep a lot of that clinch work and, failed takedown attempts like spicy, so they don't come in, fall into a stalemate.
100%.
If you're not going to get out of here, I'm going to keep kneeing you in the head or the body. Well, you could do the body, but now I can knee you in the head, and that's very dangerous.
It's a game changer for sure. It would be.
So did you want to make any shout outs, or do you have anything you want to say to the people tuning into your fight?
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Icon Hemp, for sponsoring me. Got the best CBD in the market.
Wow.
What
a sponsor.
Yeah, man. They've really helped me out. And my other artistic encounter tattoos, Deep Ellum, got the best work. I could say in Dallas for sure. I want to shout out to my dad, who supports me so much behind the scenes. He really believes in me. He's done a lot for me, man. And then my girl too. My girl's put up with it all. She's been with me since my girl Lauren Alleman. She's been with me since I was a 0-0 amateur. So
it takes a special kind of girl to stick by a fighter. That's a different kind of relationship. Yeah. I find
Yeah,
it
man,
very wholesome.
yeah, we've been together 7.5 years, man. And yeah, it's definitely, I say kudos to her, dude, because she's put up with a bunch of my shit and a bunch of my time away. Just like, oh, babe, I promise this will pay off. I've spent 2 hours driving every day. I promise it'll pay off, and it will. Also, it's my gym too, coaches, my teammates. What a badass gym, dude. And I'm just grateful,
Love it, man.
grateful for days like today and just to be a part of all this.
Do you have a message for Cody Rondow?
Crazy, man. You know, I'm not gonna force nothing. Just bring the best, brother. Looking forward to a good fight, good scrap. And yeah, man, we'll dap it up after.
Sportsman-like approach. I like it. Well, hey, it was nice getting to sit down and talk with you, Zach. I think you got the right head on your shoulders. I have a lot of confidence in you. I can't wait to sit down and come check it out. I'll be there at XKO 55 on February 18th.
Good to see you.
Yeah, no. Zak Alm, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss out. Thank you for everyone for entering the Kumite with us here today. Remember, guys, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.